going to get this show started here.
If not, there is one up there.
Before I forget, you guys have been asking me, some of you, your character GPS wristbands have had different stories of demise. So I have a new batch. If you would like a GPS wristband, just tell me how much you're worth. How much you're worth, your feet? Priceless. Priceless. That's right, priceless. Need a wristband? Priceless. Priceless. One more for you here. Okay. GPS wristband. Not available in any store.
Wilson, I like this red. Julie too.
So I'm trying to see what's going on. If it's not up to let people in.
All right, welcome to Character GPS, your guidance system for life. Our GPS graduation. Oh, this is Okay. Well, we are here to celebrate our amazing GPS students here that have been working hard all semester to learn principles of success. And they are here now to pull it all together and cross the finish line. And I want to thank Dr. Wilson, our principal, who's here. She's been to every single GPS graduation for now 9 years. And Julie is one of our great staff members. She loves GPS as well. And I'd like to point out one of our board members, Bruce Jonas, and his daughter Ariel, who graduated from Character GPS a few summers ago, right? So, and our keynote speaker, Bob Canigliaro, and he's going to be talking to you more about how important what you've learned is going to play out in your life. That sound pretty good?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to just do a quick kind of setup here. These are all the people, companies that have sponsored Character GPS. They help us provide this program so we can deliver it for free. So if you would remember to fill out your parent evaluations, and there's a black basket up on next to the silver bag up there. So drop those off, because when we submit those, Tallahassee loves our program, and they've been funding grants to help us with our program delivery now since 2016. So things are really going great. So everyone loves Character GPS. So we have been actually working in partnership with DJJ, part of the Tallahassee group up there, and we have been presenters now at their annual Restoring Hope Conference 3 years in a row. They've asked us to come and present, share what we're doing in our program to help kids get on track before they get into trouble. Our kids wouldn't get in trouble, right? But get them on track. And so my wife Debbie and I have been supporting all these kids. We love all these kids. That's why we get out of bed every morning. You guys get out of bed because you got to support these kids, right? But we're here as well. Now, my wife has always had kind of complaint because she's always behind the scenes taking lots of pictures and stuff. So how come you don't get me into some of this, with the graduation? So I got Miss Debbie when we were at the conference there. She was kind of keeping it light because we were working till wee hours of the night getting our presentation done. So there's Miss Debbie having some fun, keeping us loose, and then we celebrate her birthday at the beginning of this semester. Won't tell you how old she is, but she loves to go to Black Rock because they provide a volcano birthday cake. So there she is. She's as happy as can be. All right,
Yes,
so
go
Miss
to
Debbie.
Black Rock when you have a birthday. There'll be a free volcano cake.
That's right. I got you in here, Miss Debbie, okay? Everyone's a witness to that. So, as I said, we've had this wonderful partnership with Stewart Middle. And so at our annual conference, again, Dr. Wilson, Ray Robinson, some of the other, Ms. Thomas have been with us for years and years. We've been working on the program since 2014. And that was our first group, our LEAP program, where we help kids who got a grade level behind get caught up to grade level. So that was our first start. And Ray had found our program, and we came to partner, and we've been here ever since. And then, of course, in 2021, Dr. Wilson was our Partner of the Year. So I always try to put this picture up to remind you we are so appreciative of her and our partnership here at Stewart. So our mission statement, we are still on fire, right, all the way back from 2011 when we started, to helping equip these kids, right, to have the tools, to have the resources that they can pursue their dreams and learn how to set smart goals, right, so that we can change this world one child at a time, right? So all these students here, they're wearing a wristband that reminds them that they're worth, how much you guys worth? Priceless, right, so we'll explain that in a minute. So this is a quick video, just kind of explains about our purpose.
Our young adults are surrounded by negative influences from the media and problems like bullying, disrespect, and lying. Character GPS can help our communities get back on track. Students are engaged in 8 weeks of interactive multimedia workshops that focus on real-life application of 16 character values. Lessons include practical exercises, action
We're
plans,
working
and
on the
assessments
heart of the
to help
child,
integrate
right?
these
Not
values
just
into
head
thoughts
knowledge,
and
it's your heart.
actions. Let's all work together to steer our children and communities toward a better way.
All right, so we've been partnering with all of you. Hopefully the kids have been bringing home teaching sheets to teach you what they've been learning each week, right? So the opportunity is that this program has tools that have been skill building all the way through the semester. So we're going to share with you just real quick, we're going to walk back through the review of all that we've done since August. But when kids' needs aren't being met, kids then act out, right? So that's why we see bullying, cheating, stealing, fights, and violence, apathy, all the way down to low self-respect. And our kids actually created an ad campaign to help tackle some of these challenges that other teenagers are facing. So we have 16 core principles that your students have been learning and then obviously putting into practice. So our program is not just about head knowledge, it's about putting it into your life so you can use it to make a difference. So we always tell the kids that we are here today, right? So there's today. And so guys, can you change your past? No. What can you change?
The future.
The future. So we believe that all of our kids have a great future ahead of them. But they got to get there, right? So the challenge is, what is the shortest distance from today to your amazing future, guys? A straight line. Wouldn't that be great if all our kids were just so focused? They were heading right to that straight line, and all you're doing as parents is just cheering them on, right? But unfortunately, we're all human, right? So what happens, guys? To get to our future, we got to hope for it. You get distracted, right? So our 7 toolkits address different distractions that kids are facing these days, so they can either minimize or even eliminate some of these distractions to get onto that straight line to their future. So we kind of use several different metaphors, since character GPS or guide system for life. We're traveling on a journey to your future. So driving in a car, right? All of us adults here know that although you have a rear view mirror, that's not where you focus, right? The rear view mirror is small. You look behind yourself, right? You can learn from your past. But what should you be focused on?
The future.
The future. That's your windshield, nice and big, so you're looking ahead. And one of the things we find that kids have gone through some trauma, we all have challenges, but we don't dwell on the past, right? We can learn from it, but we focus on the positive future. That's what motivates us and gets us focused on being able to accomplish and be all that we were made to be. So we do an exercise right at the beginning where we have the kids close their eyes and point to where north is. Remember that, guys, all the way at the very beginning? And when you open your eyes, were we all pointing in the same direction? No. So who's right? And you say, well, I am, right? But you think you're right. But wouldn't it be tough to go through life guessing, hoping you're right? I mean, that can be very stressful. So our tools in our program give you the ability to know how to make good decisions. So it's like having a compass. Because a compass always points in what direction, guys? North, right? So you don't have to guess where you're going. When you've got the tool, right, in your hands, you can make good decisions and head in the right direction to get to your amazing future. So Landrick was one of my volunteers. He had been through the program this last summer, so he was actually a mentor to all these kids. So he had the compass. He was pointing the right way, right? So our students are becoming leaders because with these tools, they don't have to guess anymore. They're going to head the right direction, and guess what? The other kids are going to start following you, Okay, so that's kind of our approach. So this metaphor of heading in the right direction using a compass, what's the alternative? Well, some people act like a weather vane, right? What direction does a weather vane point, guys?
Anywhere.
Wherever the wind's going, kind of like their emotions, right? Parents, you ever heard kids say, oh, I don't feel like doing my chores. I don't feel like doing my homework. I don't feel like going to school, right? If you go by your emotions, you're going to make mistakes, right? So a weather vane is not the way you want to be. But if you're a compass, you're going to follow the truth, because the truth will set you free, right? So when you know the right thing to do, even when you're tempted, even you don't feel like it, you make the right decision. So as we said before, you parents, do you ever wake up in the morning, don't feel like going to work? Don't feel like maybe being a parent that day, right? Have a break? But what do? You're responsible, right? You all have a compass. And so our students have been learning how to rely on a compass. But again, people that want to be more like a weather vane, they kind of follow along what other people are doing. So you ever heard kids say, well, everyone else is doing it? Is that a good reason to decide something because everyone else is doing it? No, that's often the mistakes that they're making, right? So our students have learned they're not trying to fit in. They're trying to do the right thing. Follow principles of success, because principles always work. So they're aligning themselves to these principles that we've been learning connected to core values. But people that want to be weather vanes, and we see more and more every day, right? They live what we call sad living. Because who they focused on? Themselves, right? Do you always get what you want when you want it? No, so they have adversity, right? They've got an incorrect model. They think the world revolves around them, right? Just not the reality. So they get disappointed. Here we are, the richest country in the world. We have the most disappointed people in the world, right? And so if that's the approach they're going to take, they end up wandering in life. But our students have learned the truth, right? They're going to use a GPS approach. They're going to seek guidance from parents, from teachers, from coaches, right? That already have life experience, and they have a frontal lobe that is fully developed, right? How old do you have to be to have a frontal lobe fully developed, guys? About 25, right? So I always ask a kid, anyone 25? Maybe someone raised their hand and they're just kidding, right? So they realize they need to be coachable. So to be coachable helps you then think ahead, make good decisions. Then, guess what? Life is not just good luck. It's not a shake of the dice. It's determined by the choices that you make, right? So our students have been learning how to be proactive, slow down, make good choices, maybe get some advice, right, on big decisions so that they can pursue their goals and be successful. So we studied again how their brains work, right? And animals follow the weather vane. Their primitive brains, right, is fight or flight. If we fall into animal mode, we're going to make mistakes, right? So we're saying you got to calm your emotions down, focus on the frontal lobe, because that's where you're going to make your good decisions. So again, realizing that they're not 25 yet, don't have the life experience, they need to listen to parents. They need to listen to their teachers, right? Seek wisdom. And we're going to have a keynote speaker who's going to share a little more of that wisdom with us here shortly. So, our 7 toolkits, like climbing a staircase to success, all the way to the highest level, which is teamwork. So we'll explain how to get there. So think about, again, from today to your wonderful future. Imagine that this is like one bank of a river, and you're trying to get to the other side. And flowing through the middle is the current. We have a very strong current in our culture these days, right? Tries to pull kids into all sorts of stuff. If you try to swim across a strong current, what's going to happen to you guys? You're going to get pulled away into it, right? But if you had stepping stones, you could get across to the other side, right? That's what GPS does. To create that straight line, we've created stepping stones that our kids have been learning. So the first stepping stone, of course, is PR, which stands for?
Responsibility.
Music to my ear. Proactive responsibility, right? Thinking ahead, being responsible. You don't lie to get out of trouble, right? You take consequences. You made a mistake. You admit it. You apologize, and you fix it, right? So once you're heading in the right direction with PR, then you're ready for CD, my favorite, which is? Can-do. I got to have a can-do attitude. It sounds corny, but I was in a raised family of 7 kids, and I was the middle child of 7. And my parents didn't have a lot of time to mess around. So if you came to them and said, I can't do something, they would simply say, your name's Kane, you can't do it, right? End of discussion, no excuses. Put your energy into solving problems, right? So once you don't give up easily, you learn how to solve problems. And our students have been learning by doing problem solving with puzzles and things like that, learn that they can push through something that looks even impossible, right? And be able to solve that problem. So we're very proud of them. So once you're heading the right direction and you're not going to give up, then you're ready for TD, which is Talents Discovered. So all of our students took a mini Myers-Briggs personality survey to find out what their natural talents were. Some kind of discovery in that, right? And it simply says that when you are low energy or tired, you go into automatic pilot mode. When you know what that is, then you know more about yourself. And those are your natural talents that you can build on. And so when I was Vice President of Human Resources at Raymond James, we did that with our employees so that they knew what their strength was. So again, under pressure, under stress, they could continue to work because they knew where their strength came from. So we say you score a touchdown, right, TD, when you discover your talents. But it's also understanding that other people have different talents than you. Is that good or bad, guys? It's good, right? Because when we get to teamwork, we're going to be able to combine them together. So once you know who you are, what your talents are, can you get all the way to your future? No, not yet. You need some more tools, right? So the next one is our B for what? Vision. So our kids learn from their talents what would be some goals that they could pursue in their lives to be set up for success. So we use the SMART goal setting process that takes a dream and creates an action plan that the students can put into place so that they're not wondering if they can achieve that. They know they can, right? They can do it. They got to follow the plan, all right? So once you got a vision, though, does that get you to your future? No. Not yet. We need some more tools, right? So the next one is self-management, our 3 T's. Managing your time, treasure. See how they know that? This is so great. Music to my ears, right? So they understand that they've got to make good decisions with their time, because if you waste time, can you ever get it back, guys?
Nope.
No, it's valuable, right? We don't waste time, we invest time, and if you invest it in developing your talents, right, working towards your goals, you're going to get the fruit from that, right? You're going to get faster on that straight line. But if you waste your time, you never get it back. It might take you a long time to get those plans in place. Of course, temptation is a biggie, right? So our students have identified some of their bad habits and how to manage temptations, be proactive about them, right? So like you don't look at your temptations, right? You plan ahead to avoid temptation so that you can stay focused, right? Temptations look good, but often they're not really good for you, right? And then treasure, managing your money. So our students learned how to actually create a budget, and hopefully they were checking in with you, how you manage the money in the family, so that they're not coming to you and asking for stuff thinking like money grows on trees. They understand that you have to prioritize the resources of the family, right? So if your parents say no to something that you're asking for, what do you say? Okay. I understand, right? You don't beg, you don't, oh, please, 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 oh, you're so mean, like all that kind of manipulation, right? We understand that decisions have to be made for the benefit of the whole family, right? So once you can understand to manage yourself, now you're ready for the next step, which is our MR. Now you can have healthy relationships with other people, right? But you have to have a win-win approach, right? It's not just me win, get what I want at the expense of someone else, right? Win-lose, unfortunately, that's where our culture often is set up for, right? Everyone wants to win, but they're not thinking about the other person. So we kind of learn how to have then respect, right? And so do you respect your parents? Do you respect your teachers, right? Do you respect your siblings? Do you respect yourself, right? All this is built on respect and building healthy relationships. But once we got the relationship side under control, now we're ready to get to the highest level, which is TLC, Teams Love Collaboration. So our students learn how to be not only a team player, but they learn how to actually form teams, lead teams, right? Because we told them when you get a job, right? And of course you put teamwork on your resume, right? You know, you tell them in the interview, I love to work in teams, I'm trained to be a team leader, right? They will hire you on the spot, but you'll get the promotion, right? You'll get the pay raise because teamwork is productive. So again, when I was at Raymond James, we hired good people, but we developed to make sure they knew how to work in teams. So now, with those 7 toolkits, can you get to your future? Yes. Absolutely. So that is what your students have been learning, your kids this semester, is to learn and master these 7 toolkits. So now, today, they're going to realize they're set up for success, right? You heard them shout out, they know this, right? Now it's a matter of putting it again into practice by building good habits, right? So we got to get rid of some of the bad habits, build the good habits, but our students have learned how to control their habits. So you don't want habits controlling you. Who should be in control of your life? Yourself, not the bad habits, right? So our students have got their heads on straight. Now this is just our roadmap. It has all 7 of the toolkits. You go out to our website, but you can see they're all based on our core values. They overcome some of the negative behaviors, and at the end of each of our adventures, the students take a pledge to work on this together. So these students are a team. They're a leadership team at Stewart Middle, and Dr. Wilson's counting on them to help influence the rest of the kids here so that we are all heading in the right direction. So one of the tools that we did at the end of the program is we did a CQ. Now you've heard of IQ, intelligence quotient, right? Your cognitive potential. EQ is your emotional quotient. Can you manage your emotions? But we believe there's also a CQ, a character quotient, which measures your maturity. So we had the kids now look back at the beginning of the semester and put a circle. Where do you think you were on the continuum for each of these 7 toolkits? And put a square. How much you feel you've grown, right? Now, it's on this from -4 to +4. The students all marked how they felt. That's not necessarily an accurate measure, right? But it reflects their self-esteem, how confident they are in what they've been learning. So just looking at their scores real quick, and they did this exercise last week. We had, Emily had a +30 gain. We had Matthias a +29, Michael a +28. That's really good. Athena a +22. Been learning a lot here. Rashad, +17. Sasha, +17. Landrick has already been through the program once, so this is added on to what he already learned. +17, right? So that's pretty good. Victor, +15. Jesus, +14. Jeremy, +14. Naomi, +12. So all of our kids recognize that they have been learning and growing this semester. That's really important for them to know. But now this is in their books, and they have all the notes that we've taken through the whole semester. So this book is now their toolkit for success in life, right? So guys, where are you going to put your book? You're going to go back of your closet? No. Like out on your desk, right? Because you can refer to it. You can share it with brothers and sisters and friends, right? This is the toolkit for life. So they can then periodically, if you want to facilitate them, check in maybe every 6 months and have them say, how are you growing? How are you developing in each of these areas? And if there's any area that your student kind of feels they're a little bit lower in, that's an area that you can help them facilitate, right? Grow in that area. So it's a diagnostic tool as well as a measure of success, okay? So you guys, you've done awesome here. We're also an anti-bullying program, which Dr. Wilson feels very strongly about. We don't allow bullying at Stewart, right? If we see bullying, what do we do, guys? Yeah, we say, hey, we don't bully at Stewart, right? You guys are the leaders. Sometimes it just takes one person to point that out. Now, kind of a funny story came out of our room. There was a little fight in the hallway. That happens. So I broke it up, and I said, guys, you got to respect each other. And one of the girls who's been in our program goes, yeah, you need to respect me just like Mr. Kane respects his wife. She gets a foot rub and a back rub every night, you know. So she was realizing that she was priceless, right? So when the kids are willing to stand up for each other, right, we understand that now we're going to create a healthy culture here. So all of our 7 toolkits all address, again, this opportunity to remove bullying. And our students actually learn not only to handle bullies, but realizing who really has the problem, you or the bully. The bully. The bully's insecure. That's why they're picking on people, right? Try to feel good about themselves. So our students learn maybe they can help the bully, right? So not only standing for the, against the bully, right, but actually trying to help the bully overcome their problems. How about a hand for our kids? That is really amazing. Right? The world would be a better place, right? So that's our opportunity here. So a lot of times kids through trauma sometimes start to believe things that aren't true about themselves. So through trauma, sometimes kids start to believe that, hey, I'm a victim. But we say, no, you are a victor, right? Believe that you can conquer whatever problem you have. They say, oh, I can't be responsible, right? Just hand that off. Hey, I'm an irresponsible person. Don't expect anything out of me, right? That's not true. Everyone here can make good choices. You simply need to learn how to do that. Sometimes kids say, I'm broken, right? Again, just kind of self-defeating, right? But we say, no, you are capable, right? You can learn how to take control of your life. Some kids compare themselves to other kids. Oh, I'm not smart. but actually they can learn how to learn. One of our activities, we had a student solve a puzzle, and she was like amazed, and she says, "I'm smart." And we said, "Of course you are." But that self-discovery, she didn't see herself. Looking in the mirror, she didn't see herself as being smart. But all our students now know they are smart, right? You know how your brains work, and you can learn to do that. Sometimes, this is really sad, we teach the kids that they're priceless, but some kids think that they're worthless. And we ask, why? Why do you think you're worthless? And they say, because I've been told so. Heartbreaking, right? So they got to break that myth, right? And reprogram themselves to believe that they are indeed priceless. Unique, can't be replaced. All these kids have a special purpose in this world to make a difference. And our keynote speaker is going to identify some of that as well. He's done quite a bit in that. All right, some kids say, "I'm not talented." But you are. You can discover and develop your talents like a muscle. You got to work it, right? Invest your time into your talents, not into TV and phones and all the other distractions, right? All right, sometimes kids feel, "I don't fit in." But our students have learned, you're not trying to fit in, right? You're trying to be a leader, head in the right direction, and kids will start following you. It takes a lot of pressure off kids. So, again, it's a very important myth to break. Sometimes kids feel all alone, right? Maybe they don't have friends or whatever. But you can be in a family team. You can build teams here. And our students have built a GPS team, right? They all working together to help each other on this journey in life. I have to figure out things on myself. Boy, life is tough when you think you have to go it all on your own, right? But we say, no, you can be coachable, right? So listen, seek wise advice, right? Talk to your parents. I know sometimes kids roll their eyes when they hear, "Well, when I was your age," I think that's outdated information, right? But actually what we teach the kid is the technology is what gets outdated. Wisdom is eternal. So learn wisdom and it will never be outdated for you. So with those beliefs then, we've been developing now mentors. One of our students here at Stewart Middle, Malik, went to our first GPS summer camp here and loved the program, and he decided to be a mentor. And then he joined our highest level. We have an anti-bullying mentor leadership club. A lot of words there. But basically what it says is your leader, they take a pledge to stand against bullying and create an action plan of how they can help change the bullying in their environment, home, school, wherever it might be, right? So we have students each year that come to our luncheon, and we recognize them as taking that pledge, taking that ownership. Again, that's really great leadership. So our students here will have that opportunity. So there's Malik, who was a summer camp then mentor. So he paid forward. He came to summer camp 2018, and now he's been a mentor at summer camp to help the kids. Another one of our mentors, Mia, went to the same summer camp here 2018, and she actually wrote back then. It was this beautiful thank you note that she wrote, just saying how much she realized that the GPS program was giving her the tools for success. And so then a few years later, was back again as a mentor this summer. She was going to receive an award, couldn't make it to our luncheon, so she took the initiative to record this. I want to make sure that this is loud enough, if you can hear this. Let me just check my sound. But she took the initiative to do this all on her own. Okay, I got that maxed out. All right, hopefully this will. Mia was very shy, and she took initiative to record this for us.
My name is Mia, and I am deeply humbled and grateful to receive this award for my role as a mentor in the remarkable character GPS program. Firstly, I want to emphasize my gratitude to Mr. Jack and Ms. Debbie, the two living people who brought me into this amazing program. Their dedication to equipping youth with the tools to discover their value and pursue their dreams has been truly inspiring. Before joining Character GPS, I was someone who struggled with shyness, especially when it came to speaking in public. The supportive and encouraging environment created by Character GPS has been instrumental in helping me overcome my shyness and fear of public speaking. I've witnessed firsthand by being a participant and a mentor how this program can change a person. Through my interactions with the kids and fellow mentors, I found a community that nurtured not only the character of the children, but also played a significant role in the development of my own personality. It has been a joy to bond with them and witness their journeys This award is not just a recognition of my efforts, it is a testament to the collective impact we can have when we invest in the character development of the youth. Thank you once again for this honor, and I look forward to continuing this incredible journey and reflecting the positive change that has been instilled in the youth by Character GPS.
Wow, when we got that, we were just floored, right? She's probably ready to teach GPS, right? Yeah. How about a hand for me, all right? Well, we see this potential in all of our graduates here. So she was really shy, and she learned to build that confidence and doing role plays like we do in class, right? Learning kind of how to speak up and project your voice and have confidence. She wrote that. Parents said they didn't help her with it. She wrote that all on her own. It's just amazing. So we really believe in mentoring, and this summer we were moving, so we recruited a couple of our GPS mentors here. So David and Landrick volunteered, and somehow I guess there was a miscommunication with Zanita, his mom here, who was in the back. And so she said, oh yeah, Landrick will be glad to help, right? So they come over, and of course they're learning how to fold boxes and all this kind of neat stuff. It was hot, it was amazing. And so when we got done, he needed to get home, right? And I said, well, Landrick, we're ready to pay you. He goes, what, I'm getting paid?
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing.
So he was there just to help out of the kindness of his heart. So I don't know how many ice cream cones he had there, but it was worth it, right? So how about a hand for Landrick volunteering? That's really great. That's what leaders do. They just start stepping up and helping people when there's an opportunity. So he has been our mentor for this class here, sharing what he's learned. So I'd like him to come up and receive his mentor award. So Landrick, come on up here. Miss Debbie's going to get a picture of this. Congratulations. I'm sorry not to look up for Landrick. All right, come on. All right, great. And Landrick has been encouraging his classmates. I think all you guys know, right? He went through the program. He's been trying to help. And, you know, some of our students have different kinds of talents. And so we've been discovering them. And like Sasha, we learned, is an amazing artist, right? She won't brag about it. She won't tell you about it. But when we saw her picture, Landrick, what was your reaction when you saw her picture?
Can you give me an autograph?
And Sasha, just like she was right there, she smiled, right? Someone appreciated her ability. So Landrick was right on the spot there to appreciate them. That's what our leaders do. So congratulations, Landrick. And so we're going to do just a quick walk through the 7 toolkits, and then we're going to get to our kids being able to share after our keynote speaker. So PR, proactive responsibility. What are we saying, guys? Don't just react on your emotions, right? That's when you don't take any time to think. You got to calm your emotions down, right? Count to 10. Take a break for a moment, whatever it is. Create the freedom to let your frontal lobe kick in and do what the best thing it is, right? And that way you can seek advice maybe in that freedom, right? Your parents are usually there to help you, and they love you, and they want you to have a good outcome, but you got to ask, right? So our students have learned to slow down and not just react to situations. So we did a stab the potato exercise. It looks impossible. Take a plastic straw and stab it to a solid potato. But when they learn the technique, so there's Jeremy. When he learned the technique, man, he could throw that straw right through that potato. So proactivity is taking the time to learn, taking the time to practice to get a positive outcome. And that's really what Dr. Wilson wants for all of our kids here, is get your education, learn how to be successful, and put it into action. So Jeremy did great there. So we use a metaphor of the iceberg to kind of explain who we are, because we're kind of like an iceberg. There's the outside that people see, but who we really are is the mass on the inside. So with an iceberg, what percent of the iceberg's on the outside, guys, remember? About 10%, right, Michael, right? So 90% of who they are is on the inside, right? That's why we don't judge a book by its cover, right? So we don't care what you look like. We want to know who you are on the inside. So we put each of those core values in, and the students learn that that value will serve them well, but they have to learn how to develop it. Now, some people will try to fake it in life, right? Try to look good and everything, but under pressure, what's on the inside comes out, right? So like when you squeeze a lemon, right? What comes out of a lemon? Sour lemon juice. Some people under pressure, you find out, boy, it's really negative. But when you squeeze a peach, what do you get? Sweet peach juice, right? So when our students have a good heart for wanting to help other people, even under pressure, that goodness comes out of them. And we've been seeing them demonstrating that. We're excited about their future. So to practice these things, to make it a habit, how many days does it take, guys? 30 days. Then it comes to the surface. Now you don't have to fake it. That's who you are. So under pressure, you then follow truth, right? You tell the truth, you're a truth keeper, right? Those are the things. So with all 60 of core values, we applied this approach. So with Naomi, we were working together. So she understood that we're not victims, right? We can make good choices, and she was ready to pass that on to everyone else. So she was very much a coachable student in our class. We love people that persevere and see me, Tim Tebow, and other athletes. At the end of the game, no one was going to stop him from scoring. And so the team knew, right? As long as you've got a leader on your team, there's no point in giving up, right? You work as hard as you can till the end. So our students learn the same thing. You've got a can-do attitude, you don't give up, you persevere, and you're going to have success. So I told you again, my last name's Kane, or last of the Texan Canes. My dad was last Texan Canes, and then he had 7 kids. So we solved the problem. Plenty of Texan Canes, right? But then he had to support my mom and dad, a family of 7 kids. That's a lot, right? So they taught us how to then have this can-do attitude, to persevere. No, we didn't have much money. How many of us went to college, guys? All 7. How many graduated? All 7. How many went on to get a master's degree? All 7. My kid brother Steve's the PhD, is the doctor in the family, right? You know the Hubble Space Telescope, when they launched it, it had a defect in the mirror. Millions of dollars, like, oops, how did that happen? My brother, being a PhD, wrote algorithms to compensate for the defect in the lens so you get these beautiful Hubble Space Telescope pictures, right? And of course, my brother, he's my kid brother, I taught him everything he knows, right? But that's what you can do when you develop your talents, you make a difference in this world. So Dr. Wilson comes in at the beginning of every one of our classes and gives them that pep talk. Take this seriously, right? Put this to good use in your life and you're going to see the benefit from it. So during the pandemic, you know, it was a tough time for everyone, and we saw kids being isolated at home. And so Miss Debbie and I, we made the commitment. We said, kids, they shouldn't be isolated. They need coaching, right? They need encouragement. So we found a way to do it safe, keep everyone healthy, right? But we kept our classes going during the pandemic. And out of the blue, the Department of Juvenile Justice, Tallahassee, delivered this award to us, the Community Heartbeat Award, for not giving up on our students. So we just told the kids, you know, we're not bragging, we're just saying, when you do the right thing, every once in a while you get an attaboy, you know, just to remind you that keep going, right? Don't give up. So we have now been getting grants from the state of Florida to allow us to take our program to schools, churches, wherever that we can help develop kids. And one of our key beliefs is developing your talents. So I like to tell stories. So this little girl learned how to play the piano in her dad's music store in Buffalo, New York, 4 years old. By 13, she was teaching adults how to play the piano, went on to be a master's in concert performance, right? My fingers don't even move that fast, right? She's amazing. So who is this amazing piano player? My wife, Miss Debbie, right? So if you want to learn a talent and dedicate yourself to developing a talent, you can do anything, right? The sky's the limit. So in our Talents Discovered, this was from our summer camp, right? The kids, when they learned they had a national toolkit, stood proud for that. And then this semester, our students did the same. So like scoring a touchdown, right, when you discover your talents. So adventure 4 real quick, vision, right? How do you have a vision in your life? Well, you have to answer 3 questions. So we told the kids you got to decide what you need to have, what you need to do, and who you want to be. But the order you answer those questions is so important, right? So guys, where do you start? Have, do, or be? Be. You start on the inside, just like target practice. Shoot at the bullseye. Who do I want to be? Then you prioritize the things to do to develop the talent. Then you're going to have the things in life that money can't buy, right? Confidence, achievement, right? Where you can see that you're making a difference in this world. And that brings a smile to Dr. Wilson's face when she gets to see her students that go on to do great things. So it's an inside-out approach. So Rashad, he took initiative in one of our exercises to jump right up and took the CD, and he was proud of himself, because that's what leaders do. We get out of our comfort zone, we take initiative to then make things happen. So our SMART goal process, guys, remember what it stands for? Be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, right? So they took their dreams and put together a plan so that that dream would now be something actionable that they could pursue and achieve, right? Instead of wondering, am I ever going to be able to achieve that dream? So like Landrick, his plan is he wants to be a veterinarian, loves animals, right? So he's going to get his college veterinary degree, of course, graduate from high school with a great GPA. I think it was like 4.8 or something, because it's honors classes, right? Get certified, right, and help animals. So everyone's got to find what their passion is, right? So with our 3T then, now self-management, we taught the kids time management. You say, no, wait, Mr. Kane, these are 7th graders. Do they really need to know time management? And the answer is, you better believe it, right? The habits that they're developing now will carry into their adult life. If they learn to value their time, invest their time, and develop themselves, not wasting time, they'll build the habits, and they will start seeing the productivity right now, right? With your studies now, high school, then that will launch you into whatever education, whatever profession you want to pursue, by you're not wasting time, you're investing your time, right? So we talked about how important it is to invest in preparation, right? When you prepare, then when it's must-do time, right? So you study for the test, then you ace the test, right? You practice the sport, you win the game, right? So preparation is the key to using your time wisely. But preparation isn't urgent often. You have to push yourself. I know some of these students were studying really hard for their exams because they realized it's important for me to build the habit of success. So they were analyzing how they spent their time into those 4 categories, and this group actually did pretty well. Look at all that preparation. I was really impressed. This is probably one of the best groups, right? There's still a little escapism, right? Where they're just kind of escaping into a fantasy world, wasting time, right? But we said, make your life so good, you don't have to escape from it, right? Enjoy the life that you have by having a plan that you're pursuing that you feel excited about. Then meaningful relationships, of course, the golden rule, which means treat others what? The way you want to be treated. It makes sense, doesn't it? But it's often what's common sense is not common practice, right? So a lot of people want to win at the expense of other people. So our students learn how to have win-win, how to work with their parents in a respectful way, talk about negotiating some of their needs rather than trying to manipulate, right? With their friends, with family members, right? So all this builds the skills that when you go out into the workplace, you know how to handle people, right? You can work well with them to accomplish things. So wreath our handwriting is all about respect, respecting everyone's special personality, ethnicity, culture, and talents.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for your respect.
Some of the kids are asking for a little bit of respect, right? But when the kids realize that respect is the foundation to all good relationships, we can have great relationships and have a great time. So we had a lot of exercises. We had fun working together. The highest level then was teams, love, collaboration, right? Collaborate when you put your ideas together, create something you wouldn't do on your own. It's not just cooperating, that's good, but collaboration is when you're willing to listen and respect each other's ideas and put them together. So our students created some ad campaigns, looking at some of those negative behavior, how to encourage teens to do the right thing. So they were working together, coming up with these ad campaigns, having a good time in the process, because together everyone achieves more, right? You know you got teamwork when everyone is being more productive. So we challenged them, hey, at home, right? Is 2 better than 1? Well, if you're not getting along with a brother or sister, is 2 better than 1? Nope. No. You got to have the healthy relationship, then you get the healthy teamwork, right? So they made a commitment to work together, and they had a lot of fun with it. So, we all know that this is where it's at, right? Teamwork, right? So at home, are you working as a team? Are you helping your folks out? Because we believe that with teamwork, nothing is impossible, right? So again, if you're pursuing success, you're putting together character, principles, values, good habits, and faith in yourself with your energy. When you put success and energy together, what do you get, guys? You get synergy, right? So that's what it's all about. We want our kids to learn how to work in teams, to be that energizer. It just takes one person to get the ball rolling, right? To help out at home, mom and dad, is there anything I can do to help, right? Don't wait till you're asked, right? You take the initiative. So here at Christmas, guys, you got lots of opportunities, right? So we want you to get to work and apply what you've learned. We're so proud of you guys. So now we need a little inspiration, wouldn't you say? We know the right thing to do. We got to just make sure we do it. So we got the countdown here. So who is this amazing leader? Let me tell you a little bit about him. Born in New York, graduated from high school in '72, attended UTN, USF, right? Good schools. Here's a hint, in Hamburger University. Started working at McDonald's at the bottom of the rung, right? Cleaning bathrooms. Doesn't get lower than that, right? But he was committed to working with others. Of course, he married his wonderful wife. Best decision he ever made, right? 3 children, 3 grandchildren. Became VP of McDonald's Community Relations. Volunteered with Junior Achievement, working out in the community. Participated in Enterprise Village for students. Board of Directors. He's been doing it all, right? Working in the Chamber of Commerce. Chairman of Kids and Canines. I think you'd appreciate that, right? And today is our keynote speaker. Give a warm welcome to Bob Canigliaro. Bob, come on up here.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. All right, let me put in your.
I was coloring my hair there. I retired and I don't color it anymore. All right, so he's going to put up PowerPoint, so I have some pictures behind me. Good afternoon, everybody. A merry almost Christmas! Yeah. I hope it's all under the tree for everybody. It's coming. Now, once he's plugging it in,
All right.
he's loading
That
up.
sounded good.
While he's doing that, he told you enough about me. Yes, I worked for Casper's company, big, gigantic McDonald's franchisor, owned 60 McDonald's restaurants here in Tampa, and I was the Vice President of Community Relations. I worked for them for 47 years. And as you know, you know, my family's telling me, look, Bob, 14 months ago you retired. You got to step away from McDonald's, create your own new identity in retirement. And that's what I'm trying to do. But I can't fully get away from it. I can't fully get away. I got my Ronald socks on.
There you go.
All right,
I'll
let me,
click it for you because I only have one slot here. So.
you have to click?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Click. Go ahead, click.
You tell me.
Click. Click again. Come on, baby.
There we go.
All right, 47 years under the archers, and it's not coming through clean. Oh, hold on, right there.
Okay.
So when I retired, I wrote a book. Here it is. It's published. It's out there. Generating Happiness.
Hey.
47 years of life lessons under the arches. And it talks about all the things that I learned in that time. And the title, Generating Happiness, is what I want to talk to you all about. And a lot of the things that Mr. Kane talked about really resonated and is going to help me jump into this in a second. But before you click next, I want to talk about some of the challenges that you all were facing before, maybe during, and even after you entered the GPS training system, which is what it is. It's an incredible system. And talked about some of those challenges. I want you guys to give them to me again. I want to refresh your mind about all the challenges that they need to know that you're going through. Bullying was one. What's some other things that happen that are challenges that you want to bully your hero sometimes? What are they? Bullying. What else? What happens when you go to bed? What?
A lot of work.
Lot of work.
A lot of work. Sometimes you don't understand how much they're in. And there's a lot of it out there. What else? Homework? Right. Starts stacking up, doesn't it? And then Mom and Dad, they give you chores you gotta do on top of it. Oh, okay, what else? What? I can't hear you.
Taxes. Oh boy, he's
Taxes.
thinking ahead.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. You're paying taxes? Right. Every time you go to the store, you buy something, you ask, you're paying tax on
That's
that
true.
as well. What else?
Having no money.
Managing
No.
money.
I know the feeling. Sometimes having no money.
Oh, my
I mean, they know it. They're going to the grocery store and looking at me. How much? I only got 2 bags and you're telling me $150?